Hey guys, what's going on? So, the return of me making videos again, hopefully regularly for 2042. I know this video has been heavily requested by some people, and it's my bad. But anyway, so we're going to get into my settings for today. So my controls, my button mappings, what I run for audio, what I run for visual, etc. So yeah, let's dive right in. So first things first, we're going to start off with my basic controls. I do not play with inverted look, that would be quite painful. For my general settings, like my general aim settings, my hipfire sense is my soldier aim sensitivity. I have that at 92, and my ADS sense or my zoom sense is at 82. For me, this is just preference that I've played with for many years. I've played through for Battlefield 4, a little bit of Battlefield 1. I didn't really play much Battlefield 1 anyway, but I mainly have played these settings for about 3 years on Battlefield 5. Going down, I have my soldier sprint on toggle, because it's just easier. I have my double tap, no. I don't have sprint slide enabled anyway, I don't have it mapped, but we'll go through that later. Then most of this is pretty standard. And then going down, we have our vehicle sense, it's also at 82. And then those settings at the bottom are at hold, and also they're at on for invert flight. So as we keep going forward, we have my control scheme, so my infantry button mapping. I have changed some of these settings in and outside of these settings. So a big one outside is my L1 R1. I shoot with R1 and aim with L1, in contrast to shooting with R2 and aiming with L2. I still have jump and all volt on X. Some players like to change that. Most of these settings are pretty stock. The only things I've changed is I've added lean. I've changed my my prone and my crouch to different buttons. My slide is on circle, but I don't really melee that often. Things like bayonet charge, really bayonet charges. You can see there my L3 is my leaning. Which also with my shooting on L1R1, that changes my grenade and ping to the other bumper. And this is just all preference, like you don't have to copy these settings. Each player runs different ones. So going to the fun stuff, we have my USA or uniform soldier aiming. And this stuff gets pretty complex. There's a lot you can really talk about when you start talking about USA. I have both on 200%. For soldier and vehicle. Basically, the way I've learned it and been told is simply it makes ADS and hipfire the same sensitivity, and I know there is a lot more, and I'll put an article to a Battlefield log article which explains into further detail. As we go down, so we have all my vehicle controls, which is just stock. I haven't changed that. As we go down, so we have all my zoom settings, and all my zoom settings are at 81%. Literally all of them. And even though some scopes, like the 10 times I swear aren't even in the game, are there. I haven't really touched vehicle settings because I don't play vehicles, and I haven't touched my vehicle aim ratio. So getting into some more fun stuff, the controller tuning. So this is where we have a center dead zone, and I have vibration off because having vibration off actually helps you aim better. Fun fact if you didn't know that. But anyway, so center dead zone is simply put as is the distance you have to move your stick before the game recognizes you're moving it. So if you have a super low dead zone, so if I had 0 or 1% dead zone, it means any slight movement will make you, in-game, will make you move. Whereas a high dead zone means if you move your stick, it takes a longer time for the game to pick up your moving. Axial dead zone, it's where diagonal movement is moved close to the axis lines, so up, down, left, right. It will be simplified more to like the cardinal movement, so actually will be up, down, left, right. So it depends on what the value you set it to, but say you push your stick to the right horizontally at a 15-degree angle, the game will make you move at 0 degrees horizontally to the right. and this isn't perfect, but it's an easy way to explain it. So it just tries to make your aim be completely vertical or horizontal if you have a high axial dead zone. If you have a low axial dead zone, it will do the opposite. My max input threshold is at 100%. I have that unchanged because I think that you do use your whole joystick. So say if I put that at 80%, that means pretty much like the circle I have to move in for it to reach maximal turning speed is smaller, which makes it harder if you think about it. If you have a smaller area to aim in, like why? You're better off just playing with a bigger one. You're able to hit smaller angles, you're able to be more precise and accurate. I have our controller L2 and R2 button. Even though I have my shooting on L1 or R1, I like to have the max input threshold down, so I don't have to depress the bumper buttons down fully. And it just makes you, like, if you want to react a little bit quicker, it's a good way to maybe implement it. Or maybe you might not feel it at all, but it just helps me sleep better at night. So moving on, from controls, we go into gameplay. Just start at the top here. Okay, game. Anyway, so we have my HUD. Obviously I have that on HUD. I have my HUD motion off because that's a bit distracting while you're trying to aim and shoot. Chat log is on. Have my inventory on. I want to see what I'm killing. I have my kill log on because it's important to know who's around in your environment. You can hear guns when you have that on. You can match the kill feed. Have the score log on just because it's helpful, awards, etc. Have that all on because why not? My overlay shadow strength on 40%. Now this is all just custom stuff that you don't have to necessarily run. With hit indicators, a lot of people don't change them. I like to have very distinct colours, like blue's just a hit, purple's a headshot, red's a kill. I've had that for about 5 years now, from Battlefield 4, just the same colours. Minimap, I have it quite big, so I can see where people are spotted on the map if they do get spotted. Objective opacity, I have it very low because when I'm aiming in and when I'm playing, I don't want to see B flag in the center of my screen while I'm trying to shoot someone. It's annoying. I know where all the flags are. I've played the game for long enough, and you should know what the flags are if you've been playing for long enough as well. And continuing from the basic stuff, we're going to advanced. So we have the camera shake. I have that low because I don't want to be playing like I'm in a freaking washing machine. I have auto leaning off because it's annoying if I'm trying to, in a gunfight, trying to shoot someone and I keep auto peeking over. I have auto parachute off because it's also really annoying if I was in a gunfight, but that's not really applicable in this game. Also Battlefield 4. I have soldier aim assist at 70%, obviously zoom snap at 0 because it's not in comp. With aim assist, it is very controversial. For me, and my preference, I've always just had it at 70% because I can aim at people and still get a benefit from it, where if someone runs across while I'm trying to shoot someone, it doesn't get dragged off them. Or if it does a little bit, I can negate that. I can see it happening in front of me. So play around with what you feel like. Personally, I could probably go into like 40-50% and still be very comfortable. It's just like, if it's allowed and competitive, you know, like why not use it to some degree? Obviously you don't want to rely on it, you want to have a good muscle memory to be able to aim properly. Last but not least, we have my audio settings. Now this is quite standard. I have on 100% because I want to hear everything. I have music on 0 because I don't want to be in an orchestra while I'm playing. At the time that I recorded this, I had Astro A20s, which are 3D headsets, headphones, but now I have HyperX's, Alpha S's, which is just headphones, so my sound is now on headphones. I have the in-game announcer off because I'm not trying to I know what's going on in the game. I can see B flags being lost. VoIP and subtitles don't really matter as well. So last but not least, I was just pranking before we have video. So starting off, we have brightness, I have it at 75% because having it at 100%, you know, like running around on this game, it's not the best game ever. It's not the best game DICE ever made. But if I had it 100% and I looked into the sun, I would become blind. And, you know, I don't want to have that one playing the game. So I found 75% is a good balance between not being too dark, not being too bright, and I could see people sitting in a corner with a shotgun or MMG. Going on, we have field of view, and I have it at max. And this is quite controversial to some people, and they get surprised because most comp players have it at about 80 to 90, and that's the meta that's going around. And the reasons for this is because this game is so terrible that your character just blends into a piece of wood. So that means anything can become a pixel head glitch if you stay still enough. You know, if I have a high field of view and someone's standing next to a piece of wood, I probably wouldn't see them in a pub. Because you know, pubs are just stupid. But what I did for scrims and in pubs as well, I guess, is I learnt the feeling of where I was being shot from different angles, and I put that into my muscle memory on where to aim and how to move around them. So like say in scrims, there was a gun head glitch, and usually you wouldn't be able to see on a high field of view. I'll just start checking it more often. And you should start checking it more often because it's a scrim. But stuff like pubs, you know, you kind of just cop it because you just have some guy on a shotgun sitting in a corner on a head glitch somehow. I have ADS field of view on, and the reason for that is because every time I aim in, because I'm on high field of view, I don't want to feel like I'm aiming into a tunnel. Motion blur is off because I want to see everything, if that makes sense. So if I had it even on 1%, as I turn, it blurs everything. But if I have it on 0, I can see if there was someone as I was turning. It just makes it so much easier to see. With custom color settings, I just have them as pretty much like more green and more blue and more red, so I can just easily identify where stuff is. And then I have all like the film stuff and chromatic aberration off. So that wraps up this video about my settings. I hope you guys can take at least something or a little bit away from it. If you really want to, you can copy my settings and tell me how terrible they are. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to reply in the comments. I'm probably a bit better at wording it when I'm sitting there in the spot rather than, you know, talking about it. It's just how I roll. Also, I will be streaming more, probably this week and next week. Heading into 2042, I plan to probably make more videos heading to it as well. But anyway, I'll catch you guys around. See ya.